My name is Tracy Dudzinski, and I'm a direct care worker. I've been a direct care worker since 1996, and I'm going to give you a brief history of cooperative care. In 1999, in September, the Director of Human Services had heard about a co-op in the Bronx and wondered why it wouldn't work in Waushara County because there were issues with who was the employer, the county, or the client, a bunch of liability issues. So they received a grant from the Wisconsin Department of Health and Human Services to explore ways of maybe forming a co-op and to help with retention and long-term care. In November, they met with what we like to call the recipe box of caregivers that the county had. And they presented the idea, and they formed a steering committee, and that steering committee met for 15 months. Let's see. And that in November to January of 2000, they received another grant and did a market study and a feasibility study. They had a business plan developed, but that was flawed. So with the help of Margaret and CAP Services, they rewrote the business plan. In January of 2001, the business plan was presented to the workers. The workers voted to incorporate and elected a 5-member board. They wrote the bylaws. February of 2001, they filed articles of incorporation with the state of Wisconsin, and cooperative care became a legal entity. In March of 2001, cooperative care signed an $800,000 contract with Waushara County and obtained a $125,000 loan from a local bank. Part of that was because of the contract with Waushara County. And I'm proud to say we paid that loan off in 6 years. In September of 2001, or spring of 2001, they rented office space, opened bank accounts, acquired a tax ID number, explored insurance options, and hired their first executive director. In June 2001, cooperative care opened for business. In February, they held a board training, and in 2002, we had our first annual meeting where, like someone said previously, the profits are returned to the workers, and every year we've been profitable. We have anywhere from 67 cents to $1.50 extra per hour that you work returned to the worker at the end of the year. We were very fortunate that we had funding from Waushara County, and we had a $1 million contract, but 3 years ago, we rolled over into managed care, so now instead of the $1 million contract with Waushara County, we are only doing 1 hour of service per month for Waushara County. And it's important because Waushara County was like our parent. But now we've cut the apron string and we're standing on our own. We have about 85% of our business is with managed care. We have about 12% with private pay, and we have a small contract, about 3% with the Veterans Administration. The typical worker before cooperative care had low wages, no benefits, no paid time off, holiday pay, overtime. They weren't covered by workers' compensation or unemployment. They did not have access to health insurance. They didn't have a sense of belonging to anything. They were kind of on their own. After the co-op, we offer higher wages. We are one of the highest paying employers in Waushara County, also one of the largest employers in Waushara County. And they now earn paid time off, holiday pay, overtime pay. We have workers' compensation, unemployment compensation, and they have the ability to get health insurance if they work more than 30 hours a week. And we also have a sense of belonging. We recently changed the way we deliver our services to the team delivery system, where a direct care worker can move up into the position of team leader, and then they manage one geographical area and all the clients, and workers in that area. And we have a very high retention rate and a very low turnover rate. I would say our turnover is less than 7%. I started with Cooperative Care in 2004. I honestly didn't know what a co-op was before the client I was working with was switching to Cooperative Care, and they asked me if I wanted to come along, and I said, okay. Didn't know what it was. Went home, did some research, and got very excited because I could actually own part of a business. In 2005, my first year there, I was awarded Caregiver of the Year. I was asked to chair an ad hoc coverage committee. We were having trouble doing coverage on weekends. So I got a group of workers together, presented it to the board, and they accepted our proposal. 2006, I ran for the board of directors but was not elected. In 2007, I started in the office part-time because I wanted to see how the other side of the business worked. Eventually, that turned into a full-time position. I ran for the board and was elected. I've served as president for 3 years. And because of Cooperative Care, we had a mentor program. I trained for the mentor program. Because of the mentor program, I was instrumental in starting a statewide association for direct care workers in Wisconsin, and I chair that organization. And because of the statewide association, I got hooked up with the Direct Care Alliance and attended their Voices Institute, which has changed my life along with Cooperative Care. And now I'm chair of the Direct Care Alliance. And I also sit on the board of directors for the Wisconsin Long-Term Care Workforce Alliance, which is an alliance of workers, consumers, and providers. So I want to leave you with 2 things today: that starting and operating a home care co-op is not an easy thing, but the benefits far outweigh all that work for the worker, because it's changed my life. It's made me a better person. And for the community, because like I said, we are one of the largest employers in Waushara County, and we pay better than any other agency in the area. And most importantly, for the people that we serve, they receive a higher quality of care than they would from another agency, because we own the business. We have a stake in whether it succeeds or fails.